What's up, airborne lover? Nope, your eyes do not deceive you. We're just about to start. I want to get my Battle Brothers documents open. My build document. Oh yeah, apparently it's quite hot for you guys there in the UK. Yeah, welcome to our world. Oh, my webcam's struggling. Yeah, look, if you're struggling with heat, you don't need to complain to a South African. You're not going to get much sympathy. We got to deal with that shit 365 days a year. Am I a little quiet? Hang on, no, that looks like it's a good 10 decibels above in-game. Maybe I was just mumbling a bit. Sup, Viking? Let's bump the audio down a little bit further. How about that? Cool. One more time. Peasant Militia. King's Men. Late game crisis is random. I don't want permanent destruction. Economic veteran, combat expert, starting funds medium. Not Iron Man. I just want to get to the Black Monolith eventually, and it's because we are playing peasants. It's going to take it's going to take so much. It's going to cost us a fortune, hiring and firing, and it'll take an age to find the men we need. So, to start, we're just going to get some random nerds on the front line with flails and what's that perk called that allows you to hit the head? That one. And then our decent lads will put on the back line. What's up, MAL? For my archers, I mean, like, I always want to go... I want to go pure archer build, but I think it's going to be hybrid. It's just because in the early game with these really crap lads, you have to use the throwing weapons. Oh, don't tell me it's crashed. Oh, come on. Crashed. Oh, there we go. Right, hunt down bandits, ward off raiders, trap wolves attacking the farmstead, all in a militiaman's work. And if more is asked, then there is simply more to answer, all to keep your home of Horum safe. When a nobleman called on you, you and a group of ad hoc fighters took to the field in a battle between highborn. You didn't know their names or their quarry, only that one mustered you and your men to the field, and so there you went. Unfortunately, a low-born man with spear and shield is little more than a peasant with misgivings of warriorship. Your militia was used to hold a contingent of enemy knights in place while your own side's archers rained hell from above, hitting knights and peasant alike. After the battle, you and your men fled the fields for good. You took up arms to sell swords and swore to one another by blood pact you'd never have a highborn in your company. A mercenary band of motley men, and that's it. Hence why I've called them the King's Men. We, shall not serve under a king. So Airborne, the mods I'm running is the increased time one, but it looks like it's not working actually. But that's whatever. The main thing is the improved tryout mod, because I think you kind of have to have that. Well-trained doggos. Oh, hello, Lilu. Here's the kitty cat. Lilu, say hello to the stream. Who's your good kitty? Yes, hello, your good kitty. Yes. Come. Let me give you some hugs while we discuss Battle Brothers tactics. Your good kitty. Yeah. What was I saying? Mods. Obedient dogs, I think, is important. Oh, and the switch weapons mod is pretty important. But, okay, what do we do first? We've got 12 lads here. And at the start, I don't like to have more than 8 lads, because it dilutes the XP pool too much. So let's start sorting these guys, wheat from chaff, as it were. So a lucky optimist with decent melee. I think what, no stars on melee. Melee skill regular 1 to 3, so call it 2. So 20. Plus 20, plus 3 for, call it 25. That's 81 at level 11, which is kind of yikes. So for, I mean, he's got a star in melee defense, a star in range defenses, whatever. He doesn't have enough starting resolve to be a bannerman, so he's kind of, for the moment, he's meat. Lothar. Sure footing is nice for melee defense. Team player is also nice, but range defense is whatever. Okay, melee skill and initiative. This could be a polearm user, because with the polearms you get plus hit chance. Okay. So it's going to be quite a bloated roster. We'll have your hate for beasts, poacher. I mean, 49 with no stars is obviously crap, but, you know, for the peasants that'll have to do, so. And almost everybody we're assigning now is going to be assigned a role just until we can get someone better. So fear of greenskins, decent melee defense and not bad melee skill. Well, I mean, 53. Crap hit points, crap fatigue. Not bad resolve, actually. 51 starting. 2 to 4 regular. That only gets him up to... this is meat. He doesn't have the hit points or the fatigue to be a tank, so... Now, the lads that we call meat are just going to be light armor specialists. They're going to have fast adaptation, gifted, shield expert... Flail mastery for popping raiders' heads open. They're going to have nimble, and they're going to have headhunter. Headhunter is so that when you use lash for the guaranteed head hit, you can then get a normal attack to follow up to the head again for slightly less fatigue. So this saves you a bit of fatigue. And if on a normal attack you get a headshot, you get a free second one. I think it's pretty good. Okay, 40 resolve, 1 star. Resolve, 1 star is 3 to 4, so call it 35, so 75. A star in melee defense, but only 48. It's a bannerman, but he's a crap one. So we'll look to replace him. Geralt, the Nightblind team playing Miller. Decent, decent, decent. Okay. I think what I want to do is I want to get my 4 best melee skill lads to be marked as polearm users already. Because I need to get to 16 lads, and I want to have, I think, 7 up front, 9 at the back. Or 9 up front, 7 at the back. I mean, eventually we're going to have 4 reserves. We're going to have 9 frontline lads. Bannerman, Sergeant... Basically what I'm trying to say is I expect to have 4 polearm users. Polearm users at all times and 4 archers at all times. And then I'll switch out the polearm and the archers depending on the enemies I'm fighting. Okay, an athletic, bloodthirsty fisherman. Prone to excessive violence and cruelty to enemies. An opponent good enough dead. Head needs to be on a spike. Any kills or fatalities. That doesn't do anything for polearm users. Sup, Raging Fury. He says back to bullying brigands for profit. Absolutely. I mean, don't forget, lads. Brigands are still where the money is at. Can you lads tell me, can you execute with the polearm? I don't think so. Because then Bloodthirsty would be useless. I could just make him meat, I think. Because I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can execute with not a flail. The executing weapons are decapitation with an axe and a cleaver and a sword. No, wait, you can. You can chop a head off with a polearm. Okay, so this is another polearm user. Asgear. Ooh, hello. So Iron Lungs obviously is the best trait you can get in the game, but Faint-Hearted sucks. He does have a starter offset, which isn't that bad. Let's see some melee defense. 60 starting. Yeah, no stars. He's just meat, unfortunately. Although the fact that he has Iron Lungs is nice. It's going to help him to use Lash more often. Rambert. The greedy but lucky minstrel. That's not bad. This could be a sergeant. I think this is a sergeant. 47 plus 1 star in melee skill, so it's 2 to 3, so call it 25 on average. Plus 3, so 28 with gifted on average. 60, 70 something. Oof. It's really bad. This is Peasants, Raging Fury. I mean, I wanted to try the new backgrounds, but Peasants has always been and remains my favorite. I think we can get away with him as a sergeant. He doesn't need to have great melee skill. I mean, 48 and 1 star isn't great either, but for a peasant, it's not terrible. So we have a paranoid club-footed Daytailor who is straight for the bin. Oswald, ooh, hello, here we go. Melee skill, resolve, and fatigue. Damn. So, melee skill, 3 stars, is 3 to 4 every level, so call it 35. So we're looking at 95 melee skill. It's really a pity he's got stars in resolve and not in melee defense. I think this is a dagger specialist, is the best thing we can get out of him. He is going to be a god of the battlefield, and his comparative lack of melee defense stars we can offset with shield expert. Give him a roundel dagger, he will shank motherfuckers. So eventually, once we have 9 up front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it's going to be a mix of flails and daggers, but I mean, if you're going for flails, it kind of makes your dagger guys less powerful. Because what you could always do is you could alternate axe and dagger. Axe, dagger, axe, dagger, axe, dagger. And then your axe guys don't really need melee skill. Your dagger guys have the melee skill. So that the lads next to them break the shields. The daggers just do the murdering. Well, look, he could be the sergeant. We can still level him up on resolve. Give him light armor. He's gonna kill mofos, but yeah. I think we'll make him a polearm user, because let's assume we're gonna have 7 lads at the back, right? Which will look like this. Let's say I'm using my 4 archers. So 1, 2, 3, 4 archers. You have your bannerman, you have your sergeant, and then there's still a space for a melee fighter in the middle there, pretty much at all times. Even if you're taking all 4 of your bannermen in, yeah, all 4 of your polearm users in. Oh, I've messed it up now. Polearm, bannerman, meat, dagger. Help me, chat. What do I do with this lad? I think he needs to be in this central position as a polearm user. I reckon he is just going to absolutely take heads off with his melee skill. Or we could make him an axe specialist, and then he can kill lads from the back line. But whenever I have a Dane axe, I always feel compelled to use break shield, and then your good melee skill is a waste. How do I get the most out of this lad? I don't want him on the front line with that melee skill. He's going to be the polearm user. And then Rolo, the goat man. A tiny surviving shepherd. So 2 stars in range skill is nice, but 38 is about as trash as it gets. 51 is whatever. He could conceivably be a passable polearm user, but then Tiny is going to give him minus 15 melee damage. His range skill is just not going to be good. With 2 stars, he'll roll 4 every level. So, see, 40 for 10 level ups. If I take gifted, it's plus 4, so 44. So 82. Ugh. Ugh. He's got nice built-in defense. He's going to be a rubbish archer, though. I mean, if I had any other lads with even remotely better range skill, I might have kicked him. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 3 lads need to be not active right now. So if I'm going to start with... Where's my other archer? Did we find one other archer? We did. Okay, so Rollo and Main Rad are the 2 archers. Okay, who are the polearm lads, and let's rate them in terms of who's the best. Okay, there's the Bannerman, another polearm user. Sergeant. We only have 3 meat lads. I need a 4th actually. Sergeant Rampart, 48 and 1 star, 40 and 1 star, 44 and 2 stars. Yes, everybody in chat, go ahead and request to get put in. So Oswald needs to be in the starting 8 because he's super important. And of the polearm users, 53, 54. But I'm kind of tempted to rate Eric a little bit higher, just because he's got the execution ability. Can I make one of these 2 lads meat instead? I think so. Okay, so we're starting with lads in backup already. Okay, so Martin, you want to be a polearm user. That's what Bardishas are. Aren't the Bardishas classified as axes in this game? Do I need either my sergeant or my bannerman in the starting lads? Alessio. Ugh, God, it's so grim starting with archers in the peasant background. Okay, that's our starting 8, and we've got some people to rotate in. I'm not having a fencer in this build. Ruzi, the cat is good. Alexa, I'm not sure I'm gonna have a dagger lad. So far for the moment, we've got 4 meat lads. These are going to be head-popping flail specialists. Sergeant, archer, polearm, bannerman. We will take on other roles a bit later. I think my 9 lads up front, I'm going to make all 9 of them just flail users. Yeah, Alexa, my green screen needs to be just tweaked a little bit. The problem is I don't have my 2 lights active. I only have 1. So the chroma key struggles when it only has 1 light source. It doesn't help that it's reflecting off my dome. I need to get my second light working. Come, kitty. Oops, green screen. Okay, that's better. Right. Let's get started. Best armor on the front lines. There's no armor. So we're going to hit the town straight away and see what we can get our hands on. 47, 67... the archers, as you might imagine, won't even start with any ranged weaponry yet. It's not worth it, it's so crap. You really do have nothing when you start. Yikes. Righto. Horum. This is great to see. Oh, look at that. There's actually ambushards under their sale price. So I'm going to take those straight away because I need that profit. 150 for a militia spear. Could sell the sling, but it's just garbage. That's garbage. Okay, come give me a mission to deliver to the big city. Follow the tracks to rare coin collection. Yep, fine, we can do that. 2 lads just with daggers. That's going to be scary. There's no pub, unfortunately, for us to have a drink in. Raise morale. Right, first fight. Here comes the end of the campaign, no doubt, in the first fight. 7 thugs and a poacher. It's going to be tough keeping everybody alive, but oh well. Ooh, there's a spear. I want that. Are you kidding me? One, 2, 3, 4. So we actually can't advance there yet. I need these lads to come forward. But obviously they're not going to come forward because I didn't give my archers anything. Damn. What are my go-to recruits for peasants? In order of preference, in order of the ones that I would like to get my hands on, Brawler I think is the best. No, sorry, Militiaman is the best for the +5 melee skill. I'd say Militiaman, Brawler, Farmer, Butcher, then the rest are all pretty much the same. They're all crap, but there are a bunch of backgrounds that we want to have just so that we can get their events. Like we want at least one miner so we can get that event where we get free gems. Obviously we need poachers because poachers are really our best chance of getting archers that aren't just completely appalling. Wildman is pretty decent as well, but they're very difficult to actually recruit them. Can't even find them. What I hope is that we get the event that gives us a free retired soldier. We really need that. Can you recruit raiders and sellswords? No, you cannot. Those count as nobleborn, so you can't. Thieves are great as well. Thieves with their extra melee and range defense are really good. But you have to put up with them getting arrested. I'd love a monk as a sergeant because of the backgrounds available to us. That's our best chance of getting decent resolve, I think. A fanatic would be good too. And you get nice events from a monk as well. Oh, good hit. Curses. Let's go to the north. Can't go there, you can go here. But like in terms of big tough frontline lads, it's going to be the farmers. Nice. So I imagine that I'm going to be using my meat lads up front for quite a long time. It's only once we find guys that have like, you know, superstar potential that will start making two-handed weapon users. And I think for the most part, for the two-handed weapons, I want to have great swords because obviously we have trouble hitting things with our crap stats.
Unless we get someone who's really good, in which case I would love a Warhammer. The two-handed axe is nice as well, but you can't beat a Warhammer for destroying armor. The other option is we just go dagger users. You can just not even try to go through the armor, you just try to go past it. Like 31% chance to hit, not gonna happen. Oh god, forgot about that thug. Oh! Yep, this is what happens when the lads are so weak. Well, rip Ingmar. And bleeds to death. What I keep forgetting about this lad is because he's in that position there. Monks can't be recruited? Well, I suppose that must have been changed at some point. I'm fairly certain monks can be recruited. I haven't checked the wiki for the full list of available backgrounds for the peasant. I recall having a monk in my background, in a peasant playthrough before. So, first lad killed. Maybe it was a strike down. We can always play for brain damage. I think I might be able to catch them. This extra bit of XP could be vital. Oh, there goes the alarm. 1 second, lads. Sorry, I'm just boiling some beans. I'll be right back. And no, that's not a euphemism. Hey, kitty. Okay. The cat is furious. But what else is new? So turn order is based on initiative. And initiative is a flat stat that you have which you can improve by leveling it up, but then your initiative is lowered by wearing armor and carrying weapons. It represents how fast you are. Okay, so Ingmar the Meat got a broken knee, which means he needs to be retired. Oh, thank you. Well then, this means now I can recruit him as a sergeant. And then one of the polearm lads can go onto the front line. Let's see, so Lothar will be on the front line for now. 53, 60. Reinforced wooden flail. 53, 54. I'm gonna go for the flail because it'll bypass shields. Makes it a little better. If the sergeant is still free, like see him named Raphael, sure. Polom, sergeant. We've got lads available, boys. Alessio is a viewer. Lothar is available. In fact, I'll just leave them literally numbered. So just type in chat which number you want. Raphael Sergeant is taken. Rolo, famous name in this company. Marden is taken. Corey is still available. MAL wants to be number 3. Yeah. Like Ruzi. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Ruzi. I shall call you Razzie. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It's your own fault for having a difficult to pronounce name. What I say. A wooden flail is kind of crap. A hatchet, meh. Oh my god. Rs? What? R like A2D3? What? SZI like letter C? So RC. RC. Alright. Cool name, dude. I'm just teasing. Right. First ambition, straight for the banner, I think. Try raise the 2,000 gold for a banner. It only gets progressively more difficult to raise that money. Let's see, padded leather isn't bad, but I don't want to be spending it unless it's something that's like a really good deal. Can we please just go down to the pub? Cheers, boys. You deserve it. No injuries. Okay, a delivery, that's always nice. Day to the south. Come, give me a return the lockbox thing. Escort 2 days to the northeast. That pays better though. Follow the tracks. Yep, I'll do that. Alright, BH. Okay, another lethal bit of combat here now. Battle standard, I think. Five fights in the arena. No, it'll take too long. 5 groups of roaming packs. 8 or more contracts of any kind. That's actually quite an easy one. In fact, I'm going to do this. Because by the time we do these 8, it'll hopefully give us the 2,000 gold we need at least. Damn, it's so typical. Just as I start streaming Battle Brothers again, my bloody sinuses act up and I'll start getting sick. Typical. Come on, microphone stand. Piece of shit. Right. Let's get him, lads. I want to get my hands on a crossbow for my 2 archer boys. That might be one of our first expenses. And I feel like it may well be worth spending money on because otherwise you have to take it off a marksman or a poacher if you're lucky, but that's going to be very difficult. Oh. B key for obstructions. That's good to know. Thank you. Yeah, I don't need the obstructions here now. It's fairly obvious here. Curses. Kind of should have gone for the decapitate there. The morale break. Oh well. Chance to hit the head, 58%. The flail still has 35%. I thought it was 40. Plus 10. Okay, it used to be 15. Or maybe the regular flail has an extra hit the head chance. Oh, nice headshot. And that right there is exactly why we are going to be speccing our lads into flail specialization early on. It's actually kind of amazing how many enemies don't wear helmets. Are we? Come on. Shit. No rotation yet. Do we go for the poke is only 35%, so I reckon it's worth trying to bash him. It's worth a try. Gases. Come on, nice headshot. Oh, good dodging, number 6. So I feel like if you're doing peasants, you kind of have to do a weapon specialization that helps offset their really rubbish melee skill. And flails are a great option. The other thing about flails is the blunt weapons give the best injuries in the game. Like severe concussion, minus 50% to almost every stat. This lad is combat ineffective. It'll be incredible if he hits anything. Like, let him attack and let's take a look at his attack numbers. He had 5% chance. Yeah, he's functionally combat ineffective. It also helps us get our hands on more armor in the early game using the flails. Not so much the helmets, but nice decapitation MAL. Oh, his head's come off. I also like the fact that you now get those 3-headed flails, which actually makes them very good at killing enemies that are hard to hit, like goblins and geists. And what else is always hard to hit? Goblins, geists, wolves are quite dodgy. A dagger, that's nice. The short sword is excellent. And now the trickle of improved weapons and armor starts. I think I want spears on pretty much everybody up front right now. 60. Excellent. 53. Yeah. Under 60 accuracy spears. Between 60 and 70 swords. 70 and above other weapons. And it's actually some stuff that we can sell here. Who didn't have? You didn't have. Indeed. Remember to not sell wooden sticks. We're going to need them. 372. You are having a laugh. You're having a bath, mate. That's a rip-off. Let's just browse. Oh, look at that. Yum, 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 yum. Oh. So, my peasant lads, though, are going to use warbows. So, for the archer lads, let's go like that. His range defense just needs to get to about 20, I'd say. For the archers, I think you can make the argument to skip fast adaptation because you don't get the full amount for archers, but it's going to be student, gifted, anticipation we don't need. Executioner is nice. Bullseye is mandatory, we'll need that. Basically, I mean, it says archer, but he's a hybrid. I've always loved my hybrid archers. Hybrid not in the sense of using melee, but in the sense of hybrid between throwing mastery and bow mastery. So, as an archer, the only perks for an archer is really going to be bullseye and bow mastery. At that phase of the battle where he is shooting at 8 tiles, trying to pick off enemy archers. But then once he's attacking enemies at 1 square distance, he's going to be having throwing mastery and duelist and javelins. So this still gives 25% damage ignore. 25 of damage ignores armor. And I think javelins still have 40% armor ignoring. So Fury, you'd like to start a dedicated archer with pathfinding. What on earth does pathfinding have to do? Oh, to run around the flanks. I see, okay. Yeah, that can work, but it's super, super risky and dangerous. So for the meat lads, at the first level up, I take fast adaptation. Then I take gifted. Then I take rotation. Then I go back for student. I feel like once your lad has fast adaptation, gifted, and rotation all on the front line, you can then start fighting raiders with, you know, a decent chance of your lads not all just getting instantly slaughtered. $62 actually will be enough once I give him Colossus. So MAL does it as well. It helps to get elevation. Like, I mean, yeah, fine. I might want to try it, but God, what do I have to give up then to take Pathfinder? For me, maybe I must just try it, but my instinct tells me that I feel like I wouldn't really need it. Now, a polearm user really is not going to need fast adaptation, especially not one with that. So we'll go straight for student just to buff his leveling. I'm going to get everybody to 50 resolve and leave it there, unless of course they're a sergeant or a bannerman. +3. Problem with the sergeants is they always fall behind on fatigue and hit points. Give me the delivery. Because that gives us time, hopefully, to source some tools that aren't going to be so punitively priced. I like the fact that I've got a bunch of villages here on water. This big body of water breaking up the map kind of sucks, but it means we can have a lot of access to fishing nets. And fishing nets are so valuable, especially in the early game. 278 is still a bit yikes. The place we're going to, it has a workshop. Okay, good. So Harxes reckons that any archer that can't reach 90 range skill should be a thrower. So I'd absolutely agree for every single background except for the peasants. Because with the peasants, it can take hundreds of hours of grinding, of hiring and firing to find lads that can get to 90 or above. Sorry, lads. For me though, with my archers, I really like the hybrid build. We need to wait. The reason I like the hybrid build is it's the versatility, you know. Against unarmored targets, they can shred with their bows, and against armored targets, they can actually do decently with either with the axes to strip the armor away, and then once they get duelists, they can throw javelins and just not worry about armor at all. I mean, my thrower is going to have maybe even crippling strikes, because with crippling strikes and throwing mastery, extra damage, and some named javelins, you can start injuring unholds.
What's this one? This is hunt down what terrorizers. I think I'm going to take this because I need some time to run around to heal up and repair armor. And right in the beginning when I don't have any decent armor or weapons, even though it's quote-unquote only 5 dire wolves, we can just pull it into some reinforcements on the road and get an easy payday. We need to do as much as we can in the early game to be quote-unquote like abusive, pulling enemies into other enemy groups. This is not what I had in mind. Come on, give me a military lads, or like a caravan will even do it. God, but these extra Nachtzeers now are really complicating things. The direwolves and the Nachtzeers, I think, would fight each other, but if they don't, that would be campaign ending. And I know that this is wasting a lot of time and potentially eating into my profits. Fuck off, Nachtzeers. Are these things catching us? Is that what's happening here? Where's the local militia? Oh, okay. That's only a few caravan hands. That's no good. They'll all die. Okay, the Nachtzeers. Okay, we got some tracks here. Shit. If we fight these 5 direwolves now, we're all gonna die. God, this is annoying. When did you realize these 3-way battles? Oh, God, it took me a few hundred hours to realize I can do 3-way battles. Hate to admit. You will notice it's going to be one of the key techniques we use. Here we go. Falkenberg's Legion. Help us, lads. The 3-way battles is one of the key things we're going to use for fighting big groups of enemies. Well, these mercenaries don't look much better than us. Like, we wouldn't even be able to hit these things. Their defense is so high. 69, nice. But missed, not nice. Well, that's messed up. Must be a wall mercenary, you tit. As you can tell, I'm just being supremely cautious around these things. A direwolf can rip a level 1 or 2 lad to pieces in a single turn. No. Oh crikey, I forgot to set an alarm. Me beans. Timer 15 minutes. Lads. He can't step in there. With 30 armor in contact with 2 direwolves, that would be death. What kind of beans am I making? I've got some speckled kidney beans. No, kidney beans are the white ones. It's the big white ones, kidney beans, and those speckled red ones. I'm making some veggie soup later in the week, and I want to beef up my soup with some beans. Love me some beans. My girlfriend and the kids are way too fussy. They won't eat beans, but I love them. Full of protein, good carbs. It's not processed carbs. Like the nutritional profile on beans. It's excellent. Excellent. Ozzy, can you pick up an item from a friendly dead corpse? You used to be able to. It used to be quite commonplace to like shoot into the back of your allies to hopefully kill them. I'm fairly sure that got patched out though. Any loot from the kill? I don't think so. But in these first few missions, it's just all about the XP. The money obviously is important, but
The lads just need levels. Yikes! Good. Don't steal my kill. There we go, there's a gallbladder thing. The money. Excellent. No one took any damage. We got a little bit of extra money out of that. It wouldn't have made much in the way of profit. But like I said, it's just all about the XP. Yikes, 25. I might even consider Fortified Mind for him. And speaking of Fortified Mind, that's the one strategy I have never actually tried. Is taking Fortified Mind on everybody and getting Resolve up into the 70s or 80s for your entire squad. But I think like the more Resolve you have on everybody, it kind of like it falls off and becomes less useful. Because I mean, you just need your lad to trigger the good morale to get the effect. I mean, unless you are resisting fear or something, the way I understand it, like your number of resolve is the percentage chance you have to trigger good morale for the 10% combat buff. I'm sure some boffin who knows stats and maths better than I do would be able to do the calculations of what the perfect or the ideal number for resolve would be. I'll just go for 50. I recall there was a post on the subreddit where some maths genius did the mathematics breakdown for why fast adaptation is so crap. And I get it, maths wise, but I just can't shake the feeling that it's doing stuff and it's working and it's good. And on that big post, the one thing I would say is that the numbers for fast adaptation look increasingly worse and worse as a skill, the higher level your guys are. So if you have just meat like this, the better it is. So long story short, I think the more crap your brother is, the more value fast adaptation is. And you'll notice if I get someone who's amazing like that lad of ours who has 60 melee skill, I don't take fast adaptation on him. I don't think he's going to need it. You know, it'd be a nice mod is if you attack and you hit a shot that you would have otherwise missed were it not for fast adaptation. The little icon appears over your lad so you can actually see how often it happens. Because I notice now with the enemies, the skills that they have, like Bloodthirsty and Executioner and like that, when it procs, it actually floats above their head. So Rafe, you mean higher than their attack? Higher their attack is? Yeah, I meant their attack, not just level. Sorry. So death is pretty much as devastating as it is in XCOM. Yeah, I actually feel like it's easier and quicker to level up guys from level 1 in XCOM than it is in this game. And finding good lads is easier in XCOM. It can take hundreds of hours to get new recruits that are good. Like getting yourself started with a group of just 12 honest, hardworking lads is not that difficult. But then finding the guys who have potential to be late game superstars, that can take hundreds of hours in a single playthrough because of how random it is. Nice one, boys. A decent start. So once the frontline lads get 2 level ups each, 3 level ups each, once they have fast adaptation, gifted, and rotation, we can then start adding other guys onto the front line. It's just all about getting those first few level ups. Just to get the lads. Wait, this is a polearm lad. He doesn't need fast adaptation. He needs student. The polearm boys, I find, do actually need melee defense because... So when I take polearm guys, I'm... Well, let me start explaining it a different way. The question is, when would I leave my archers behind? I leave my archers behind against the toughest undead fights because obviously the archers do almost nothing. And in those toughest undead fights, you up against so many numbers that you have to expect that your polearm lads will be in melee contact a couple times. So they do need to be able to dodge a couple hits, I think. Excellent. We got our first short bow. Which is obviously a crap weapon, but I think I should actually start the battle like this. Just to start encouraging enemies to come towards you. I don't know if it's been patched or changed, but I have a memory that if you have more... I don't know if it's ranged lads or ranged power and the game calculates it, but whether the enemy AI stands and lets you come towards them or whether they come towards you is dependent on your ranged power. Throw weapons can be good, yeah, especially axes, I agree. But I'm talking like Black Monolith, like, man, like the two occasions I've tried Black Monolith, I did much better the second time when I didn't bother taking any ranged lads. I just had a whole bunch of polearm guys on the back lines. I still lost the fight because my front line crumbled. But what we're going to try to do now with this playthrough with the peasants is we're going to have frontline axe specialists who are going to break the shields of the frontline undead, and then the backline polearm or pole hammer or those type of lads will go to work and do most of the destruction. Alright, Wiley. Here's the interesting discussion. What is the best one-handed weapon in the game? I think it's the axe. It's not the best against armor. It's not the best against unarmored. But it's pretty damn good for both. Okay, wait, what is this? While walking the streets of Stolhoven, you come upon a crowd standing around a hanged man. He must have been of some notoriety. The folks are mustering one another to try and get a turn to cut a toe or finger off as a sort of hanging heirloom. An old man is quickly elbowed out of the mob. He turns to you, voice raspy, his bony fingers tainted like sickly ribs. Ah, sell swords, are ye? Of course! I can smell your business. The purchases ye have made. Say, would you do a bit of work for me? I need a number of that dead man's fingers and toes. It's for my work, ye shall see. I'll give you 500 crowns, yes! Raphael is grinning from ear to ear. He's a thief, isn't he? Raphael Sergeant, the minstrel, grabs the old man by the shoulders. Say, what mighty muscles you seem to have, my burly friend. I shan't ask why you need the toes and fingers of that dead man. The old man nods and says he'd never tell anyway. The minstrel continues. But if you want a good, strong and violent man, then I am not looking at it. It's you, old man. Take your own fingers and toes and go with them to complete the task. Ahem. Whatever weird shite that might be. And you'll find the reward you're after. You are the hero of the story, can't you see? The old man spits and shakes his head. You take me for a fool, don't you? Our business here is through. Get out of my way, you sorry sellswords. The old man leaves. You ask the minstrel what he's doing. He shrugs and holds up a purse of crowns. Sleight of hand. Nicely done. But you ask where your own purse is. Raphael Sergeant raises another sack. Really, really good sleight of hand. So we lose 500, we gain 1,000. He gains initiative, and he's in good... Oh, yes. That's an event I've never seen before. And in the early game like this, that's pretty amazing. I could have bought a study... I could have got the banner already. I've just never raised this much this fast before. So MAL, you partial to cleavers. So I mean, don't get me wrong, I love cleavers as well, but my question to you is, what do you think is the best weapon in the game? Do you think cleavers are the best? I take it you would cite the... Ooh, I should start buying javelins. So with the cleavers, I suspect you would cite how good the decapitation is, how amazingly good it is to inflict bleeding, especially on bigger enemies. How you can decapitate as well. I mean, the cleaver is the king of the anti-organic enemy, I'd say. So exactly, Rafe has the right answer. The best weapon is depending on what you'll be fighting. So again, I'm going to press you again. And hence why I've answered, I think it's the axe, because I think it's the best all-rounder. It gives you decent armor damage, it gives you decent base damage for unarmored targets. It gives you the ability to break shields. It gives you the ability for increased damage on a shot to the head. So early game spears, yeah, sure, of course. And one thing I would encourage you guys to think about, like everyone knows, hey, early game, it's all about the spears. It doesn't matter what damage you're doing if you can't hit anything, right? So think of throwing weapons as the same. Throwing weapons are the spears of your archers. This could be worth trying. A few thugs, so three raiders, 3 thugs. We're almost certainly going to lose someone here. Maybe if we kill the thugs, we can break the morale of the raiders. It's worth a try. Pike and a flail. So this is why I took this. If I can just get the pike and nothing else, it's worth losing 1 or 2 brothers, honestly. I mean, that flail would be nice and the armor would be nice, but that pike alone in the early game for me, especially with the peasants, getting to up to 4, as many pikes as you can get, you should. We've already encouraged these. We know they're coming in, so we're going to switch to the nets. Damn, he's waiting. Ugh. Good. So we need to tie up the raiders while we deal with the thugs. So we're going to kill in order of how dangerous the weapons are. Small thing, but I'd encourage you guys to get in this habit. Like, MAL is going to be attacking this turn, so you might just take their turn now. But if I wait and let 2 step up, when MAL gets a chance to attack, he'll have +5 chance to hit, because he'll have a lad flanking with him. Alessio is going to be in danger because that flail is going to go straight past his shield. Right, it's killing time. I've got to finish this fight and go check on my beans. Good hit. Here's where it gets fucking scary. So the raiders didn't break, but the decapitation, as expected, made the thugs break at least. I'll worry about this raider. He could easily one-tap number 6. Oh! Oh, God, picks. I hit fucking hard. Okay, Razzie, your job is just to hold him in place while everybody else kills that lad and that lad. Hang on to your fatigue, don't even attack. 61% chance, missed. Terrifying. So I'm going to have MAL attack because he is in melee contact with this lad, so the raider has -15 chance to hit him. He could still get 1 shot. That's a problem. I don't have raised morale yet. Yes. Okay, and I think that propped the morale lowering there. Good, and then stepping up again. Also, for you newer players, I also point out that you got to be aware of what does what. Like, my tactic here really is to hold up the raiders, because I can't straight up fight them. I'm happy to get morale breaks. I mean, it hasn't really worked, but like, I took that attack, and normally moving your polearm guy into melee contact with a melee specialist would be death, but I was hoping for exactly that. See, I knew that when I stepped up, it would make him roll for morale, and then he failed it, and now he's fleeing. And like here, I can step up and attack, but I know that this raider is going to attack next. So I'm going to wait. Oh, God, that's scary. Damn it. Oh, oh God, that's 4 in a row that's missed. One hit and Razzie could lose his morale. Good hit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, please. Just give me that. Please. I want that polearm. Please. Battle Brother, gods. Oh, Jesus, that's terrifying. Actually, I can start attacking now because I've got another lad in melee range. Curses. We could go for the decapitate because we've got a few we've got 2 stacks of fast adaptations. That deserves a sound effect.
Woo! You know he did.
And I'm fairly certain. Certain is almost like being certain, but that's a bit more H's. The decapitation, I'm fairly certain, affects the chance of him dropping a weapon. Well, I might be talking out of my ass. Oh, God. Yeah, this lad has to die immediately. Oh, headshot, unlucky. Yes, no flail though. I noticed a mod on Nexus mods that gives a 100% drop chance on all enemy weapons and armor, regardless of the stats. Like, I can see how you can maybe justify how, like, in universe it makes sense and it's justifiable, but it's like, it's so tempting to play with that mod, but holy crap, it would make the game so much easier. Right, so number 6, and just a reminder to you guys watching, if you haven't submitted a name, lads with numbers are ready to be named. +3 and +3. I'll always, those are max rolls for melee defense and melee attack. Oh yeah, don't forget about me beans. Gifted. Best perk in the game. That's 10 stats. +2 is too low to take on fatigue. He's up to 61 now. I've got 2 lads up in the 60s. Right, David H. And number 6 was Sullivan. I'm going to level up the lads and then we're going to go for a quick tea break. Meat. I could actually have made an argument for MAL not needing Gifted, but Gifted is so good. Polearm user, Sullivan. He's not going to need Gifted. He's already got what it takes. I think I'll take Crippling Strikes even now. Additional damage against targets that have sustained an injury effect, like a broken arm. Although I want to keep him alive, so I'm gonna take Colossus, because I'm gonna have Colossus on him anyway. And number 5, the archer. Yeah, he'll get gifted, that's for sure. Oof, +2. That's a minimum roll. Yikes. Okay, we can maybe bring another lad into combat with us quite soon. Right, chaps. Go get yourselves a cup of tea. Back here in 5. Me beans. Beans are cooked and not burnt, so that's good. Read how fearsome works. Which one's fearsome again? Make them scatter and flee. Any attack that inflicts at least 1 point of damage to hit points triggers a morale check for the opponent, with a penalty equal to 20% of your resolve, -10. As opposed to with no penalty and only if at or above 15 points of damage. What? That's with no and only if at or above 15 points of damage. So if you do between 1 to 15 damage, there's no additional penalty. No, there is the penalty. Well, basically, yeah, so if you do 1 to 15 damage, you do a morale check, but if you do 15 damage hit points and above, you'd get the morale check, plus the enemy has a morale debuff, so it's stronger. That's how I understand it. As opposed to means without the perk. Oh, right. As opposed to with no penalty and only if at or above. Okay, right, I see.
So if you do, that's even stronger then. So if you do at least 1 point of damage with Fearsome, you do the 20% of your resolve penalty minus 10. So that's going to be amazing on the Bannerman, the Sergeant. So for argument's sake, if he has 100 resolve, they get a morale check. With 20% of his 100 resolve would be minus 20, but then less than 10. So it's a resolve check minus 10. So overall, it sounds like a nerf to Fearsome. Broken nose, is it even worth treating? Yeah, why not? Uh, 228 isn't terrible. That's a nice good pickup. That's expensive. I really shouldn't bother looking because there's nothing that you can afford. If you quickly just buy a doggo. Let's buy 2 doggos. The doggos, of course, are going to be vital when it comes down to running down enemy archers. Did I cover which camp followers? So, I usually know which ones I want. It's just a question of the order that I get them in. I think, like, the sergeant is not going to surprise anyone to hear that that is non-negotiable. You must have a sergeant. The scout, I've been told, is very good. The 15% extra movement is huge. What's the other one? Retinue. The little boy that gives you tools and arrows back is good as well. And I think people sleep on the cartographer. Follow tracks. I really like an early cartographer because it pays for itself surprisingly quickly. And if you keep it all the way until your retinue is full, you can actually make a decent amount of profit out of it. Okay, just a poacher and some thugs. Let's get them. Block. Hold. 60%. Good. Didn't even mean to hit him. What a ledge. I don't want to bother with spear wall. I'll just make them run around the side. I think let's shield up and hold them busy. My damage is on the back line right now. Good hits. He's... yeah, that's fine. I need to actually go there. Oh, beautiful. That's why you can't beat the pike. We took a hit, didn't we? Are we? Shit. Resi. Good dog. Get him. Good shot number 2. That's a Resi. You just conserve your fatigue, mate. Actually, you know what? They're close enough to breaking. There we go. That'll do. Oh, stabbed guts.
Just seeing that little dagger attack icon there has made me think goblins and their little pierce armor skill. I don't rage and install Battle Brothers often, but when I do, it's usually because one of my best lads has been two-shot by a goblin. Shields we need. Excellent. Another dagger. Butter knife, butter knife. We can actually start filling out the back lines. Okay, good. We've got a short sword. That's preferable to this rubbish little militia spear. 61. 61. Razzie the polearm lad. A polearm user at this level will eventually, you may as well take Colossus. Sergeant. Plus 3 on melee skill, I've got to take that. But there's always going to be the issue with him. You're always having to sacrifice either melee defense or hit points or fatigue. His fatigue is awfully low. God, 46. So bad. So bad. But as a peasant commander, you take what you can get. Airborne lover for number 4. Sure. Things are tight, as expected, money-wise, that is. We need to do 3 more, and then it's on to the next ambition. Delivery. I love a good delivery. Oh, God. Tempting me with these cheap tools. Go 47, but turning down tools for 206. That hurts. Back to Subingen. Anyway, it bodes well for the long-term viability of the campaign to see that we can get tools and fishing nets at a decent price. Deserted shelter not far to the southeast. Leonard WZ. I think we might have a meet available. Lee. Nord. Leonard. Leonard Mulzer. What you got for me? Some Wiedergangers, armored Wiedergangers, and a few Nachtzehrs. You've actually got to be so fucking careful with a fight like that. I think I'm not going to take it right now. If we get lucky, we might get missions to go there as well. What I would desperately love to get my hands on is a village that asks me to do something like this, to find a big, cave of nasty undead. And then repeatedly you get given the mission to go get the thing there for free. And if it's 3 stars, it's so good. It's just free money. Okay, so we can't get work there. Harlingen. How long have I been streaming for? Hour and a half.
or a while ago, I started always taking caravan missions in the early game. I used to stay away from them because they would fail, but like, it doesn't really cost you anything if you fail. Alessio Meat, always a sort of take one for the company, seems to have single-handedly helped resolve the men. As one sellsword explains it, I don't know how to explain it. As another more articulate mercenary says, it's like he's more than just a sword for hire, you know? He's someone we can depend on, like a brother, but not a whole brother, obviously, more like a half-brother. A bro, if you will. Yeah, Airborne, there's no hunters for us. We have to make do with poachers. I think that militiamen get randomly +5 to ranged or melee skills, so militiamen might be an option as well. Let's talk crowns. Pay me more, I accept. Hunt down the webnecks. I accept. So, if you're wondering why I hung onto all of these spears, this is why. When you go web-necked hunting, what you need is a good spear in each hand. To dual-wielding spears would be ideal, but you kind of can't do that. And you don't need to bother with a shield, because they only attack you if they actually have web on you. When starting out, the world saw you for what you were. Ambition armed with a weapon. Everyone has a dream, and about half those men have weapons on them. You were not unique, not outstanding, not even particularly dangerous if you're giving your old self a good look in the eye. But you made it. The doors shut in your face. The attempts at haggling that you lost good deals. The spitting. So much spitting. It's a cold world and you dared to warm your own damn self. And you succeeded. Contracts under your belt, contracts on the horizon, they're blurring together. A culture of victory has started to wash over the King's men, and you have good reason to be proud of your command of it. Making a name for ourselves. Right, now give me that battle standard, will you? Close to the spoders. Ooh. Barbarians. 11. That is a fair amount. Modern, number 7. Good luck. They're all gonna die. So I don't have any rotation yet, which means that if my ranged lad or polearm lads get closed in on, it's gonna suck for them. That's a problem. Height advantage. That's a problem. Polearm and melee range. Okay, all out attack. Let's go. We could very well lose the dogs here, but make no mistake, we are in trouble. This is fucking scary. God damn it. Yes, Sullivan. %39% chance to hit. I think he's better off with a melee weapon. So am I going to play Long War the Chosen with all the mods? I think so, Martin, but honestly I might dive into Phoenix Point before Long War the Chosen again. I want to check out that vehicle DLC. God, rotation. Rotation. My kingdom for rotation. Yes, Martin. God damn it, Raphael. What's the chance to see? 43% chance to succeed. Now do I
Yep, I do that. Airborne, come on, dude. Yeah. Number 7 is just stuck there and he can't use rotation. Now someone with perfect hindsight would have said, oh, get rotation at level 3 instead of gifted, but it's just unlucky with the randomness. As long as we keep getting rid of the webs, we should be okay. And the little dog running off to the eggs is actually surprisingly good. It might actually break the eggs. Finally. Yes, Modern. Okay. Just a few more and their morale's gonna break. But we're still in danger. God damn it. Goo. Clutch. He broke the eggs. Good doggo. Okay, that's a big problem. %, 53%. Oh, MAL. Clutch. What were those hit chances? 95 and 75. Number 7 though, and Raphael are in big trouble. That was pretty clutch actually by Raphael. Brave doggo. Yeah. Ujo the war dog MVP so far. Gah. Curses. Oh, clutch. Run away, run away. Don't kill me, dog. So looking at how effective the dogs are, I mean, if you could afford it and you have a war dog on every battle brother, you know, just think of the swarms of spiders you could kill. So just remember, if you're going spider hunting, don't leave the doggos behind. In fact, if you're doing anything in life, don't leave the doggo behind. I want to show you lads my puppy. I got a little, well, he's 10 weeks old now, a little Boston Terrier doggy. His name is Bentley and he's a fancy gent. He's sleeping with my daughter right now in her room. So if it wasn't for that, I'd show you guys on stream. Maybe next time. At some point, I think I need a dedicated doggo cam. It's my first Boston Terrier. I'm blown away by how cute he is. Rip Ujo.
You were too good for this world. Who's a good boy? Ujo was a good boy. Okay, they're away. We survived. Whew. It's over. It's over. I mean, for their first battle, Morden and number 7 did quite well. Must be bloody terrifying having to fight spiders the size of dogs in your first battle. 640 crowns, some roots and berries. That's nice. Decent little payday there. 159. Oh, baby. And very cheap ammo. Very cheap food. And some cheap javelins, but I don't want to spend any more. I reckon I could probably get around 250 to 260 each for that lumber. If I can get it sold in a big city that has the looking for building materials event. Oh, excuse you, just started your own run. Give the cultists a go. That'll probably drive you nuts, but it's a lot of fun. $7.10 to hunt down what terrorizes. And of course, in the early game, we love these hunt down what terrorizes missions. The battle standard. Just go with the unknown, plunder it. We love these hunt down what terrorizes missions in the early game. That's a lot of noctirs. We saw some army lads go up this road. Let's go find them. $11 noctirs now. At this power level, we would get our asses eaten. Tracks are quite cold though. Come on. I hate when you come to the patrol post and the little army group is not there. Help us! Birkenberg. Where's the militia? Oh God. How terrifying must it be running around with a group of undead ghouls on your tail? I think we can turn them in, run them into. Aha! First, Trogenschacht Company. Ian Bob. So, early game approach to fighting Noctirs. The professional soldiers handle it for you. These lads gonna move forward, indeed they are. God, this group would have completely murdered us. Outnumbered, 2 of them starting at level 2. God. Get dodged, nerd. Good doggos. Trying. I think just stay put, lads. Let them come. Let them come.
Man, I need rotation. It's actually too scary to get into contact with that level 2. Good lad, footman. Good job. God, can you imagine getting to use those bull hooks? I think people sleep on how much armor damage these bull hooks actually do in the game. Obviously, it's not comparable to a pole mace or pole hammer, but they're such good weapons. Although, of course, you can't beat the pole sword. Pole sword is the king of the battlefield weapons. Backline battlefield weapons. I mean, yes, it struggles against armor, but when you can hit 3 enemies, who cares? Is that my lad? That's Razzie. Shit. Okay, so that nerd has to die. Indeed, Airborne. Yep. Quick hands. I absolutely do take quick hands on my polearm boys. What I quite like as well on my polearm guys, if they have, oh Jesus, the kind of stats where I can justify having them wear light armor, they can actually use a crossbow. Because it never ceases to amaze me how often you actually hit a crossbow shot at range. Even if you don't really put many points into your ranged offense. This is a problem here. MAL's in real trouble. I needed his morale to break. Someone please kill this nerd. You, Bullman, had better kill him. Oopsie. Deep chest cut. Can't be treated, unfortunately. So Airborne, you say you think you like crossbows more than regular bows. So in a lot of situations, the regular crossbows are better. I mean, I think that the last time I tried a Peasant playthrough, all 4 of my ranged fighters were crossbow users. I was trying hybrid crossbow and hand cannon. Hand cannon for the unarmored targets, crossbow for the armored targets. And the crossbows really were outstanding. I just started running into troubles in the big Civil War fights, where that 1 or 2 squares less range made it difficult for me to hit the enemy archers on the back lines. And that led me to losing a few fights, so... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's very few things in the game as satisfying as one of your lads with a tier 3 crossbow hitting an enemy in the head and one-tapping them, as like usually as the first action in a battle. You just take a shot and just tap someone and it breaks morale around him. It's so good. But that being said, if you have a good archer, I think like a warbow will do more than even a tier 3 crossbow. Bought for 159, so 201. I think I can get more than that. But fuck it. Let's get up to 2,000. I don't particularly want to be here in the north, really, right now. Gain a battle standard. Excellent. Sergeant, polearm, 370. Not bad, actually, at level 3. So number 7 and Marden can almost take their positions. How close are we to leveling up? Fairly close. I need them to be level 5 before I swap them out. I mean, at next level I could take student, but then that delays rotation even further. I could go like that. It's absolutely Raging Fury. The armor piercing of the crossbows is just amazing. I think I experimented with a headhunter crossbow build as well. I mean, on the few occasions that you were lucky enough to get a headshot and then a follow-up one, that was so cool. I remember I had one crossbow lad with headhunter, and he had that happen what I suggested now, where first action of the combat, you one-tap an enemy in the head, which then procs headhunter, so you then get to reload and shoot again, and if that second shot hits, it's guaranteed to hit the head. So you can have a situation where one of your crossbowmen can one-tap 2 enemies on turn 1. That's pretty fucking sick. But I think that the sustained damage of a bow and arrow user with a warbow is really second to none. Here's another hunt down what terrorizers. But I'm just going to pull the enemies into the road. Until the frontline lads have exact rotation. It's just too difficult. And too dangerous. Right, we need to do a bit of running away bravely. Don't run away from this American. So Raging Fury, that is exactly the build I'm going to be doing on almost all of my frontline rubbish guys, is headhunting flail, which obviously falls off in the late game unless you're lucky enough to get a named flail, or you can justify giving the lad a 2-handed flail. But all my frontline lads are going to be flail specialists just for the first few 100 hours of the campaign, where we're going to be just farming raiders. And that's going to set our economy up to be able to hire and fire with a recruiter in our retinue as well, for extra recruits and cheaper trying them out. To then find proper frontline guys who then won't be flail users. I think I might go for axe users on the front line. Unless they're particularly good, in which case they can be dagger users. Because I do feel like a axe and shield user can make it all the way to the late game. And of course, eventually we're going to need at least two-handed weapon users. Ideally with warhammers if they have the melee skill for it, but if they have to use great swords, then they will. Because I'm imagining a line of 9 lads up front, where you have 7 altogether in the middle, an open space, and then your two-handed weapon guy, which then gives you 1, 2, 3, 4. 15 squares of coverage with your enemies, which means you're almost never going to get flanked. I do really like the 200 flail for mid-game enemies. Yeah, mid-game, but I mean, I suppose it is good, but you better have a lad with some good melee defense. And as fun as the flail is, there's just... is it the weakest two-handed melee weapon it might be? Because of its damage spread, I'd say it's probably the weakest. Please don't catch Razzie in melee combat. It did get a buff, I need to check that out. What I will say though is, if you are incredibly lucky and you get someone who has good stars in melee attack, melee defense, and he gets iron lungs, just a top tier bro. If you haven't tried it before, try giving one of those bros an orc flail. It is hysterical. He's a one-tap machine. Pretty much anything. Shink, thunk, dead. It's fucking great. Not always. If you roll low, and you're unlucky to roll low, you won't do much damage, but an orc flail, which is that chain, is so much fun to use. Let's see, but you foe get to ignore shield bonus and extra headshot chance. Yeah, that's true. But in the super late game, you're fighting enemies with 300 head armor, so they don't really care about that. And that's when I find the flails really fall off. And if I'm fighting an enemy that doesn't wear a helmet, oh, for God's sake! I need to run away again. I need to stop soon. I'm tired. I'm getting sick. I mean, I get that Raging Fury. I get that the damage spread and the potential lower damage is offset by the crits. I get that, but I mean, you can also just get unlucky and then you do no damage and your lad dies. I know. I'll piss off all my viewers by telling you guys that I think the Greatsword is the best of the two-handed weapons. So even though I think the Greatsword is the best two-handed weapon, if I have a god of the battlefield, a 9-star bro, with 3 stars in melee defense, 3 stars in melee attack, 3 stars in fatigue, I'm giving him a Warhammer. But the reason I rate the Greatsword so much is I like the Peasants, obviously, so the Peasants need the extra 10% chance to hit. It's got the most versatile kit. You can split, you can swing, you can single target, murder someone. It's not as good against armor, but it's still pretty good. It's plentiful, you pick them up on the battlefield, you don't have to buy them. There's plenty of legendary Greatswords. The way I'm raping again. Yes, Martin, I did see that XCOM Warhammer game. It looks pretty cool. I watched Christopher Odd play it, but like, I can't see myself playing an XCOM game where I can only have 4 lads on the field. But it does look really cool. I put that game in the category of I'll pick it up when it's on special. Full price, I don't think it's worth it. Maybe with some more DLCs and some mods, you know, like us lads who are XCOM fanatics, we kind of forget how XCOM 2, actually base XCOM 2, released in pretty unrecognizable state than what it is now. That didn't have anywhere near the features, and like I could not play vanilla XCOM 2 ever again. Open XCOM Warhammer 40k mod. Is that for that particular game? What's it called again? Not Vermin Hunted, Tide, Spore something. I have old man brain in case you lads couldn't tell. But if we're talking Warhammer games, what I'm most looking forward to is oh god, the name that I can't remember, the fucking the Vermintide one. That I'm looking forward to. That's going to be great. Chaos Gate. Right, lads, be polite. Stay back. Let the professional handle it. So, Raging, I kind of agree that I would consider War of the Chosen the base for another game, but like, for someone who's never played XCOM before or anything, they got to start with the base one. But I mean, I can't imagine ever going back to like 4-man squads. For me, the most frustrating thing about that is the fact that when you only have 4 lads, if one of them misses their shot, 25% of your ability to do damage that turn is just gone. And so that's why I much prefer more enemies in my own bigger squad. It just gives me more flexibility. Oh yeah, and playing without the hero classes. I forget whose stream I was watching briefly for a while. They were playing, I think they were playing unmodded vanilla or something. but I just remember seeing a ranger with a shotgun and a sword on his back, and I was like, what the fuck is that? It was so bizarre. Oh yeah, no. I never, much to my shame, I never played the original XCOM, but I don't think I even had a computer back then. These soldiers need to move forward. I don't want to have to hold the middle of the line here. So, wait, I played a game called something UFO Defense. I remember playing that. I don't think that was XCOM though. I remember it was similar to XCOM, but you had your little soldiers and you go into... It's like the landed UFO missions in XCOM. But I'm thinking way back in my memory now. This is fucking years ago. I was a babby back then. Why are these soldiers not going forward? This is bullshit. Oh my god. Well, Raging Free, I don't see myself playing the original XCOM. I mean, I've become such a graphics snob. Cases. It's just too ugly. Can you lads fucking do something? God damn it, MAL. This army group must have heard how we like to pull soldiers into fights with Noctiers, and they're like, well, fuck it, we're not doing it for them. I'm gonna have to sacrifice the dog. I can't have two of these lads eating corpses. So speaking of old games, if I had to think, like, what's the oldest old game I could see myself still playing? Probably Baldur's Gate Shadows of Am. Which, not incidentally, I would say is the best PC game ever made. And my favorite PC game of all time. Oh. This is problems. This thing could two-shot one of our lads because these soldiers have been so bloody useless. Dune 2, that was a good one. Dungeon Keeper. Oh. I think I'm better off trying to kill this one and get a morale break than trying to hit that one. Ugh. Oh boy. These soldiers have really screwed us over here by not helping us. Hello, kitty. Come. Kitty wants slap. Kitty gets slap. Look at my long cat. I've got to fix this damn camera of mine. Looks terrible. Oh, that's huge. MAL is in big trouble though. What you said? Dune 2 was that the Dune game that you played on the Sega Mega Drive 2? Because I played that Dune game. And then the Greenhouse was my favorite. I think what they called. Need more harvesters. Ooh, actually, if we're talking best PC game of all time, how can you forget Warcraft 2? Yeah, oh man, that's a tough question. I'm thinking, what's a better game? Baldur's Gate 2 or Warcraft 2? I think Warcraft 2. Damn. Okay, HOM 3 is up there as well.
So for me, I'd have to say Warcraft 2, Baldur's Gate 2, Hom 3. StarCraft, eh. We picked up some injuries. What do we have here? Tavern, Armorer, Kennel, Weaponsmith. Our money situation is not looking great. These +1s are killing me. It's funny what you remember from games, and the one thing more than anything that I remember about StarCraft is the Firebat, and that one little. For some reason, the Firebat just had the coolest voice lines, like "Careful, it's hot," and just the way he says it was just so cool. I don't know why that. I still know that, like that, and the peons in Warcraft 2. You know, zook zook, job's done. Never, ever, ever forget that. Adrenaline. I think I might actually want to adrenaline my polearm users. Yes. We are going to adrenaline the polearm users. I think adrenaline is worth it because there's so many situations where being able to adrenaline and kill or morale break an enemy is the difference between life or death for one of your other brothers. First Diablo tube, yeah, that was amazing as well. Stay a while and listen. 361. I'm just gonna sell that stuff. Well, this does actually happen quite often when I come to the north and the money isn't that good. Well, as you say, a lot of old guys here, but the average age of PC gamers is generally older. And I would wonder if the average age of gamers would be increasing. I would imagine it would be. I already need to start buying every whip that I can get my hands on. Because once we have whips, we can then start taking on the kill the nightmare dude missions. And we can kill geists with them as well. Arena, no thanks. Visit every settlement, that might not be too bad. City-states, get rich under the blazing desert sun. Group of at least a dozen opponents. Let's visit every town. We've got a ways to go still. So, reminiscing about old games. The game that I most wish I could play again and get the enjoyment out of it that I got when I played it the first time is a game on the Sega Mega Drive 2 called Cyborg Justice. God, it was fun. Find borrowed dwellings not far to the east. So in Cyborg Justice, so it's a 2D side-scrolling, not even a platformer. It's kind of like Golden Axe, where the screen just goes left to right the whole time. And you have modular cyborgs, and you build your own cyborg and you fight other cyborgs. But like in the middle of the fight, you could rip off pieces of other cyborgs that you kill and put them onto yourself. So like you could have like a little buzzsaw attachment that goes bzzz and cuts off bits of other cyborgs, and then you smash it down. And like, oh, that cyborg has tank legs, which gives you special abilities. Oh, and you're like, you press a button and you rip your own legs off, and you walk on your hands and you take the legs off the enemy and put them on. God, it was so good. We need a lot of stuff. I highly recommend you lads go to YouTube, type in Cyborg Justice gameplay and check it out. I'm not gonna take the thrall fights. I just want to get out of the north.
Lord's Demise, the north. Syndicate, that was a game. Holy shit, I remember Syndicate. Golden Axe was great too. I love Golden Axe. 420 for medical supplies. You are absolutely out of your mind. Now give me the mission to... Oh, curses. Curses. Trying to think what else were my first few games that I played on PC. Heroes of Might and Magic 2, I played that. Oh, Total Annihilation. Now that is an incredible video game, especially in the context that it's in. Six dire wolves, let's try. Well, rip that lad. Rip that lad. Here's the first reload. Carmageddon. Oh yeah. Carmageddon, that was fucking fun. Holy shit, running over grannies. Oh, unlucky. I don't see how we get through this without at least a few. I mean, that's a frenzied dire wolf. Oh yeah, the cutscenes from Red Alert, they were amazing. We're all gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reload it. The problem is, I don't have a main save and I have to take this fight. Well, I mean, if I get less unlucky with, look at that 24 hit points, truth. If I just don't get screwed with how we actually start the fight, might not be too bad. But for real, lads, go to YouTube, go check out Cyborg Justice. It had a banging soundtrack as well. Ugh. There's no way I'll get through this fight without everyone dying. Was it a strike down or a kill? Another kill. God damn it. This is what frustrates the shit out of me with this game. It needs a multiple autosave function, you know, with we just don't have what it takes to take this fight on without getting fucking brutalized. This is why I stopped playing this game. Fights like this. Look, I mean, like, the fight hasn't even started, and two of my lads, three of my lads are fucking guaranteed dead. And the fact that I know it's only my own fault is not really helping. I should have taken fucking rotation and not gifted. All I had to take was rotation and this wouldn't happen. Oh, fucking stupid. Look, and I can do nothing until Raphael gets killed. Yep, that's the end of the Battle Brothers. That wolf just one shot my guy. It's a headshot and a kill. Okay. That's enough Battle Brothers for one night. We're starting so well.
The fucking rotation.
When I pick it up on Wednesday night, we'll see if I can get through that with anyone surviving. Otherwise, I should have just taken rotation at level 2. This is why you need the auto pause on spotting enemies mod. Stupid shit like that. Anyways, thanks for watching, lads. I'll see you on Wednesday. We'll pick this up then. I might have to restart. Fucking hell. God, I suck.